Sups next, this is Reyes the All Eating Cake, back here with something incredibly different. I have so far only been doing gaming, and I plan on doing more gaming. But I don't really have anything to play at the moment. I want to play the Dark Souls Archforms demo, but it has been delayed again because they've been doing playtests and they've gotten a lot of feedback that they need to fix and change and stuff. Because these are people that actually care about what they are creating. And this is actually a somewhat scripted video. Not everything I will be saying is a part of the script, but I do have a script to keep me on track. This is a manga slash anime review, kind of Rosario To Vampire. Uh, and This is the only. I don't know if I will do any more of these. This is the only one that I have like really wanted to do for a really long time actually, because it fucking pisses me off how different the anime is from the manga. Because I love the manga. I go back and read it sometimes. The anime, I've watched it like twice since I started watching anime like 10 years ago. And I think I've read the manga 4 times since I first read the manga like 7, no, not 7, maybe 6 or 5. I'm not really sure. Anyways, but I'm using a script because everything that I will be covering I can't keep track of within my head. uh, so let's, and of course there will be spoilers, so if you haven't watched the anime or read the manga and want to do so, then I'd advise you to not watch the video. If you still want to watch the video, despite knowing there are spoilers, that's your fucking fault. Now, the story revolves around this guy, Aonotsukune. Uh, he's a boy that enrolls into this school right here called Yokai Academy, which is a boarding school for monsters. He quickly befriends Akashiya Moka, uh, a vampire. She soon develops an obsession with his blood, and there will be other monster girls that also take a romantic liking to him. I will be This video will mainly be covering the differences between the manga and the anime, and we'll be starting with the first episode, which is nearly identical. There are a few differences. The main one being the first episode's antagonist, Saiso, and at the end of the episode, he attacks Moka, and it's revealed that he is an orc. I think it's also called an ogre, depending on the translation, but from what most people call him an orc, from what I've read. In the manga, it's very different because he's not an orc. He's actually an outcast Ayashi or monstrel, uh, which is a hybrid monster. They are looked down upon in the monster world. Second episode actually follows the manga extremely well, and there are no major differences that I know of. In the first episode, we have our first major departure. We get introduced to this girl who is an 11-year-old girl called the Witch Genius. She does not get revealed this early in the manga. She actually doesn't appear until episode 5 in the anime. It would be. No, I'm thinking wrong. My brain is kind of all over the place. She doesn't get revealed until chapter 5 in the manga, but she's here this early in the anime. Uh, what actually would have happened in this episode is they try to get into a club, into a school club, but that doesn't happen until episode 5 in the anime. And we will cover that episode soon. Very soon, actually, because episode 4 is an original episode, and a very bad one at that. So, and episode 5 is actually pretty accurate. They try to get into a club. A lot of clubs doesn't work out for them. And at the end of the episode, they join the, what's it called? Newspaper club. Newspaper club. That is the word I was looking for. And episode 6. Wait, I need to scroll down in my script. It's based on chapter 4 in the manga, so it should have happened earlier, of course. Yukari wasn't here yet either. And she does end up playing a big role in this. They join the newspaper club and they meet their senpai, Morioka Gine. And, well, he's a pervert. He likes to get with a lot of ladies. He's pretty much a playboy. And it's very easy for him because, I mean, look at him. He's handsome. He tries to get, or he wants to get, Mocha, of course, because she's a beautiful girl. Typical playboy. But he noticed that these two like each other. So he tries to get Sukuna outed as a pervert by tricking him to doing a bunch of perverted stuff. Eventually, while Maka is on the roof of the school, thinking about stuff, he corners him. They get into a fight somewhat because Kuruma, Kuruma, Kuruma Korono, and Yukari out him as the pervert. Holy shit, I'm bad at presentations. Now I remember why I don't fucking do them. So, and now we get to episode 7, which is an incredibly big departure. We meet the Yukionna, or Snow Woman, Misore Shirayuki, menar jag. I mean, fuck, I'm fucking this up so bad. This actually doesn't happen until chapter 19 in the manga. So fucking like it happened so much earlier in the anime and it fucks up so much. Uh, because we skip over a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff will happen differently because of her involvement. The entire antagonist is dealt with quite differently. In the manga, Sukune uses vampire blood to defeat the antagonist of this episode, which is inserted into him by the vampire Akashimaoka. But and in the anime, this only really happens twice that he uses that vampiric power. Uh, while in the manga, it happens quite often, very often actually. In episode 8, we are back, but it's identical to the manga chapter basically that it's based off. So, okay, that was a weird visual glitch. Episode 9 and 10 cover 5 chapters, from chapter 13 to chapter 17. We still skip over stuff. Well, we don't really skip over the stuff because the stuff that happens before this does happen, but it happens later in the anime for some reason. Uh, we the newspaper club gets sent on a mission to the human world to write about it for the newspaper club. In the manga, they are actually sent there on a secret mission. However, they don't know that. They are supposed to write about this huge sunflower field called the Witch's Ranch. A human company is planning construction there to turn it into a dump. There are two witches that live there, Ruby Tojo and Lady Oyakata. I don't know if it's Oyakata or Oyakata. I don't remember. I haven't heard anyone say that these names in a long time. Because last time I watched that anime was basically 10 years ago. Uh, where am I? Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Uh, these two witches are planning to create a plant army to destroy the human city as revenge for trying to harm the ranch. In the anime, she is actually dead. She's not in the manga. I don't know why they decided to go this route. Uh, so, so in the anime, Ruby uses a forbidden magic spell to basically it absorbs living things and uses them to power it, with her and her magic book being at the core. No, her magic wand being at the core. She has the magic. She has a magic book, and they destroy it. Ruby somehow ends up surviving somehow. So the outcome is they defeat Big Bad. She survives. The ending is the same, but they decided to go an entirely different route with it in the anime, and I don't really understand why. Why change small stuff if the outcome is the same? It makes no sense to me. I also forgot man-eating plant. Now we go to the last 3 episodes, and they cover they cover 3 chapters. We shouldn't have Mizore or Ruby yet at this time in the anime, but we do because they decided to rewrite it. Uh, the Public Safety Commission goes after the newspaper club because they want them to pay money to continue their club activities, which they refuse. this leads to them finding out that Suguna is actually a human. In the anime, this is found out because they don't know what his real identity is. And according to a lot of testimonies from other students and teachers, he is very weak. So they find that very suspicious. Like, he keeps ending up in trouble. Why doesn't he reveal his human form? Makes no sense to them. In the manga, however, this lady, who is a Medusa, reveals to uh, this guy, Kyoyo, that he is human because in their fight against her, she bit him and she definitely tasted human flesh. This ends up with these two being jailed and with him going to get executed. In the uh, Moke is of course jailed because she knows his true identity. On the day of the execution, Ruby frees Mocha and they all plan to save him from his execution. They fight the guys, she saves him and flies him up to the roof. In the manga, they don't really even get that far. They are brought into the basement. Kyoyo basically tells him like, it's easy to prove you're not human. You just turn into your monster self right here and you're free to go. Of course he can't do that. Uh, in the anime, no. Yeah, in the manga, basically, why is my brain just stuttering? He throws a fireball at her. He gets in the way, and he burns into a crisp. The others protect her while she puts some of her vampire blood into him to save him because, well, vampire blood has incredible regenerative powers. In the anime, she fights him for a while, but of course she's weak after offering up a lot of her blood. He throws a final fireball at her, and he wakes up and basically takes her away from the fireball at the last second. In the manga, he wakes up, starts beating the fuck out of him. She grabs him from behind, and then he beats him the fuck up. And that's when we get to season 2. Season 2 fucking blows. Even more spoilers will come now because reasons. So if you haven't backed out and is considering now, do it. But they didn't even try this season. So much inaccuracy. So just I don't understand it. In episode 1 of this season, they are in their second year. This doesn't happen until season 2 of the manga, and we skip over 20 chapters of important development, and the story becomes really basic, and their focus on ecchi just dials up to an 11. Just literally every scene a fucking panty shot. It doesn't make sense to me. Some episodes will still take inspiration from the manga, but they are very different. Both episode 1 and 2 are based on episode 3 of the manga, chapter 3 of the second manga, uh, but very different still. First episode have some things that happen in the chapter and a lot doesn't. At this time in the manga, Ruby works for the headmaster, and Sugene basically does as well. He's gotten a holy lock to control his vampire powers. He got too much vampire blood into him, and he basically turned into a ghoul, which is just a mindless killer. In the in the manga, no, in the anime, Ruby works around in the school, but her appearance and importance is heavily reduced. Not to mention that Sugane is basically a fucking weak pussy still in the anime. We get introduced to Moka's little sister, Kokashizen, and she has a talking bat with her. He is in season 1 as well, but he's basically just a narrator then. Uh, he's basically a mascot. He talks. He's just annoying as fuck in the anime while being completely irrelevant in the manga. Uh, she later fights a Cyclops and a Frankenstein. One of those, the Cyclops, is taken from the manga, but we see him during a different circumstance, and he's not even a student. I'm pretty sure in the manga, or at least that's not revealed. They are hired to kidnap. They are hired by a guy that kidnaps Moka, and then they get beat up by Moka and Kuruma. But in the anime, they are just fucking delinquents. In the second episode, a lot of minor stuff gets changed that I don't remember, and covering all the minor stuff would take in all these episodes would take fucking forever, and writing this episode would take even longer. Writing it already took a fuck long time, and so did making the PowerPoint that I'm covering. Coco tries to fight Mocha to bring out her inner self, and but the others don't know that. They think it's because she just missed her older sister. But as soon as she turns into her inner self, she becomes a simp. Basically, that's all that happens. The third episode is based on a manga chapter, and it's taken from a chapter that has to do with school festival. In the During this festival, both Misora and Kurumu lied to their mothers and said that Sugine is her boyfriend and Sugine is my fiance. And it ends up with their mothers fighting, basically. Oh, and also in the anime, it happens during Parents' Day. Fourth episode is about her being upset because she isn't sexy, and like, no, duh, you're not even a fucking teenager. No way anybody would think you're fucking sexy. So she tries to come up with a way to look older. The nurse, Mako, uh, has a syringe, can make her finger a syringe thingy. And she does appear in the manga as well, but there she's an assassin for the outcast Ayashi. In the manga, her syringe allows her to. She puts her body fluids in people. I know, gross. To control people, and I'm not really sure what it does in the anime. I know she could make changes to the body. But that's all that I know of. I don't remember what else it does. She's a freak, and this is episode is probably based on two manga chapters. I think because the reason she got like this is because they did body measurements. I don't remember, or we're going to make body measurements. Again, I don't really remember. Uh, in one of the manga chapters, she uses a candy she's made to make her and Coco bigger, but it fails. When they return to normal size, they actually don't become normal size. They become even smaller, and the candy doesn't even last that long. In the other one, she is worried about being a child, and through a machine she was going to use on Sukuna and Mocha, she switches bodies with. I should have switched sides earlier. Uh, with this guy, Fan Fan, one Fan Fan, who is a Chinese guy and he never appeared in the anime, but he does play a bigger role in the manga. Uh, uh, Yukari, who is in Fan Fan's body, has to sneak into the gymnasium because they are going to do measurements, and she doesn't want him in the girls' locker room, obviously. Uh, the episode 5 is not based on the manga. It's a very weird episode. It has to do with the cooking class, and we do see the cooking class in the manga as well, but it's under very different circumstances, so it wouldn't feel right to compare those episodes. And the sixth episode is again not from the manga, and I don't know where they got this inspiration from, so I won't even really cover it. The only thing that I would really say, and it's because it's relevant to the next episode, is that they are on a field trip. In episode 7, they get a free day on their field trip, so Sukune goes home to his mom. In the manga, he actually comes home because they are doing repairs on the school, because during the school festival, a magic item caused chaos, and it's actually after that manga chapter that they go into year 2, while here they've already been in year 2 for quite a long time. His harem is also there because they want to meet his mom to get a head start on the others. They also meet his cousin here. This already happened. They've already met her in the manga at this stage, and the anime episode where that is based on where they first met her has not happened yet. This is so out of whack. Uh, Episode 8 is just fucking confusing. It's not based on the manga, nothing makes sense. You know the drill. Episode 9 is loosely based on a manga chapter. It's they in the anime the school goes on a skiing trip to her homeland, the land of the snow women. In the manga, however, something has gone wrong with the temperature control of the barrier. So it's extremely fucking hot. Uh, she gets sent home to her homeland because she's going to an arranged marriage. The others don't know, they think it's only for a special ceremony. Snow women are endangered and can only have children at a pretty young age. So that's why she was going to get married away. Both the manga chapter and the anime are of course based on the same place, but the things that happen in those areas are nowhere close to each other, so there's no real need to cover it. We also meet another one of Mocha's sisters here. Uh, in the manga, not the anime. Episode 10 is again not based on the manga, it's just weird again. Episode 11 is loosely based on the manga. Sukuna's cousin finds a way to get in the manga. She finds a way to get to the school during the school festival with a magic item called Lilith's Mirror. The mirror contains a fairy that will grant the wish of anyone in exchange for their soul. This is the magic item that caused chaos in the manga. Uh, it does cause some chaos in the anime too, but not even remotely close to the extent of that in the manga. In the anime, she doesn't get sent with that item. She gets sent with an item from Tsukune's mother, but she bumps into Kokoa, who has the magic mirror, and they accidentally switch. In the anime, this happens just really out of nowhere instead of during the school festival, which I don't really understand why. Uh, in the manga, she gets that item and she gets told how to get to the school by the Medusa because, again, she wants revenge. Uh, when the mirror is the mirror will reveal anyone's like monster identity when used on them. It will force them out of their human disguise. In the anime, when used on Mocha, it separates the two personalities. Well, in the manga, it just brings out the inner. Both results in that the inner Mocha is really weak. But I don't understand why they made that change. It doesn't make sense to me. Second to last episode is again loosely based. Uh, it's the last one that's loosely based because the final episode is completely original and makes zero fucking sense. The barrier between the human world and the monster one is breaking, and they need Mocha's Rosario to repair it because the Rosario is what keeps the barrier up. In the manga, you also need a Rosario, but it's the one that Headmaster uses, not the one that Mocha has, because again, change stuff for the sake of changing stuff. Uh, but it's not only a key to the barrier, it's a key to the area where the barrier controls are. No, that's not true, actually. You can use it to get there faster. And the Rosario also doesn't just control that barrier, it can be used to create a lot of barriers. Uh, an enemy that doesn't appear in the anime tries to take the barrier down because he wants an all-out war between the monsters and humans. Uh, Offering up her Rosario means the outer personality disappears, and that does happen in the manga too, but that's because Mocha broke her Rosario because she needed to save Suguna from, well, the dangerous enemy that tries to break down the barrier. In both cases, the barrier is fixed, and in the manga, they actually go with Fan to China because his great grandfather is one of the three Dark Lords and can repair her Rosario. In the anime, Tsukune goes alone to Moka's father to ask him for a new Rosario, which in the manga, of course, her father wasn't the one that created it. Uh, Now we go to the final episode. Tsukune goes to get a new Rosario from her father. On the way, other families try to stop him because they want Tsukune to marry their daughters. The ones who help Tsukune past is actually the daughters, and Yukari and her parents actually help Tsukune as well because they aren't selfish. Also, Moku's father in the anime looks wildly different. Like, look at these two. Her father in the manga, her father in the anime. So different. Not even the same person, and I fucking hate that. In the manga, he's a handsome guy that looks to be in his early 30s, maybe even mid 20s. No, not mid 20s. Yeah, early 30s, I would say. Maybe even 40s. Uh, and in the anime, he has gray hair, first of all. Like, yeah, he has a smooth complexion, but he's a vampire, of course. But he still looks way older than 40. Uh, Now, as to why the manga is better. Sukuna is actually a main character. He gets developments. He grows both as a person and in strength. The other characters also get so much more development. And there are more characters in the manga as well. There's In the anime, there's less action, way more ecchi, which, I mean, there are probably people out there that like that, but the manga is just so much better. And I understand changing the story a little, or adding extra episodes to add more context to the story. And I would even change the ending of the manga because it does feel incomplete. But again, it's just so much better than the anime that I don't care. Sorry about that. I would literally give up my testicles for a new anime that actually follows the manga. And I feel like it would actually be popular because a lot of the themes fit what is popular with the anime community right now. It's shonen, yeah, it does have some ecchi, but that's not the main focus. It's just better. If I made any mistakes, feel free to correct me. If you have watched or read the manga and agree, feel free to tell me as well. And if there's any game you want to suggest to me to play, I will consider it because, well, I don't have a lot to play. And I'll thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.